Okay, so now we're back with part D, and in this part, they are giving us the graph. So these graphs already be created for you, and then they're asking you all these different things about the graph. So they have A through D, all the things we need to answer. Hopefully you already have that copied in your notes, and you're just ready to go ahead and answer as I go through these. So the first thing is they want to find us to find the turning points, which by the way, that's just where the relative max and min, where it turns from going downwards to back upwards or vice versa, and determine if it's a relative max or min and state what that is. So I usually just go from left to right, looking for valleys and hills, and then describe what I have. Okay, so just looking at it from left to right, I go along and I come across right here is my first valley. So because that's a valley, I know that's going to be a relative min of, and then I have to just estimate it, and that point to me, just looking at the graph, I think that's about at the y value of -4 when x equals, and this gets a little tricky, it can. I think that it looks to me like it's between the -1 and the -2. So when x equals -1.5. Again, that's just a rough estimate. You know, I might even put approximate here because, you know, I'm not sure exactly, but it's about there. Okay, so that's one relative min. Okay, then I follow along, and then look, we got a hill here. So that's going to be a relative max of, and then the y value at that point is 0. So that's the relative max at 0 when x equals 2. I feel pretty confident that that's when x equals 2. So I'll just put an equal sign there. Okay, and then I keep going, and I get another valley, so another minimum. So relative min of, that looks to me like about -1 when x, and I don't feel super confident about this one, so I'll say it's about 4. I think that's where it looks like that's happening, but again, it's just, you know, close to that. All right, and then if I keep going, keeps going up, no more hills or valleys. So that's all my relative min. We're done with part A. Okay, part B, let's see what it says. Estimate each 0. So on this graph, I feel pretty confident where they are. It looks to me like it crosses here, 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 and those look like whole numbers. So I feel pretty confident that these are at x equals -3, x equals 2, and x equals 5. All right, so we have 3 of them. I don't know, feel pretty confident about that. All right, then we've got part C, find the smallest possible degree. Well, once you've done this, solving this is pretty easy. We have 1, 2, 3 maxes and mins combined. So the smallest degree that this could be is 3 plus 1. Always one bigger than however many of these we have. So the smallest degree that we could have is 4 degrees. Okay, it could be more. There could be a 6 degree or an 8 degree or 10 degree, but it cannot be any smaller than 4. Okay, that is the smallest possible one. I know it has to be even though, because the arrows are both pointing upwards. That's why I only listed even items there. Okay, then the last one is the domain and range. This one's usually not too terrible. Because they're polynomials, they're always going to be continuous, which is nice. So the domain, hopefully you can see me over here. The domain is going to be all real because it goes all the way to the left and all the way to the right. And the range, in this case, okay, you know, it doesn't go forever downwards. It starts here at x equals -4 and then goes upwards. So the range, or sorry, y equals -4. So the range is y is greater than or equal to -4. I'm assuming we're pretty good at domain and range at this point. We've done a lot with that. All right, that one's done. If you still need to copy any more of this down, just pause here and then continue the video when you're ready for the next example. All right, so I'm on to example 2. Okay, I've copied it down. Notice that the x-axis is going by 2s, even though they're really, really wide. So, you know, when I'm here, that looks like it's about 1. that's at 3. So just some things to think about on that. The y-axis is going by tens, right? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, again, something that's going to impact how I answer these. Okay, the first thing I have to do is find all the relative mins and maxes. There's going to be a bunch, so that's fine because there's a bunch of hills and valleys. It's fine. Start to the left. I travel along the graph. When I get to the top of this hill, I'm at my first max. So relative max of, and let's see, the y value to that, it looks to me like it's about 20, so I'm just going to estimate it there, of 20. When x is about, now see, to me, this one looks like it's, see, if this is where 1 would be and this is 2, it looks like it's between that. So I would say negative 1.5. That's where it looks like it is to me, right? If you think about this in quarters here, would be the 0.5s. I don't know. So that's what I'm estimating. Okay, then I continue on, I keep going, and I get to the bottom of a valley about here, so that's a relative min of, and that looks like it's hitting at negative 50 on the y-axis when x is about, and I don't know, that to me looks like it's not all the way up to 1, so I'm going to say it's about 0.5, just an approximate guess. We're doing our best. It says to estimate. That's all we can do. Okay, then I keep going. I get to another maximum, top of the hill here. So relative max of, oh, that looks to me like it's about 10 on the y-axis when x is about, I don't know, I'm gonna guess that's about 2.5. Again, halfway would be at the 3 point, so I think that's there. And then we get to the bottom of a valley here. So that's a relative min of, oh, I don't know. Let me see, what did I say on here? Because I don't think I put it, I think in the picture on the graph, it even looks closer. I don't know. It might be of about negative 10 or maybe negative 5. I don't know. That one's really tough there. But when x is about, and I thought this was a little bit closer to 4 than the 0.5 would be. So I don't know, maybe 3.75. I don't know. I'm just estimating. It's not all the way to quite to 4, but I just didn't think it was about at 3.5. Anyway, so I keep going up and there's no more mins or maxes. So that's my whole list of relative mins and maxes. Okay, part B, I need to find my zeros. So it looks to me like it's crossing here, 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 here. So my zeros, or my real zeros, are at x. It seems like, I would say, and maybe it would be better if I put, I'm just kind of estimating here. So it's about, I'd say, negative 2. And we can probably just list it here. Negative 2, I'd say that one looks like it's at about 1 or negative 1. And then this one looks like it's at about 2. This one looks like it's about at 3. And that one looks like it's at about 4. All right, so I don't know, they all look like they're whole values. Maybe it's not, but it's about that value. All right, then we've got what is the smallest possible degree. So I count up these. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these plus 1. So the smallest degree it could be is 5, which makes sense to me because the left side ends down, the right side ends up. It needs to be an odd number. Okay. Now keep in mind, it could be a degree higher. There could be a 7, a 9, an 11. It's got to be odd. But the lowest it could be is a 5 degree. It could not be any lower, okay? Like a 3 degree function, it can't have this many hills and valleys. All right, this 5 is the smallest this one could be. All right, and the last thing is domain and range. So the domain, again, it's continuous. It goes all the way to the left, all the way to the right, keeps going with those arrows. So that's all real. Keep in mind that symbol, everything's all connected. It's just an R with a connected extra line. It's not an I and an R. I see a bunch of you writing I's and R's. It's not that. It's an R with a double line on the side. Okay, and then the range is also all real because it goes all the way down. We have an arrow going all the way down. We've got an arrow going all the way up. So that one's also all real. Hopefully domain and range is pretty easy. I don't know. I think we've done a lot with that. All right, so you can stop now and go back to your quizzes and answer any questions and finish that up for today. So that's all you have for today. Tomorrow we'll talk about this. We'll talk about questions. So tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, we'll talk through questions on the homework. We'll go through all of that, but have this all viewed and ready to go so that when we get together that day, we can just go through things like on the homework and things that you guys have for me. All right? Hey, best of luck. We'll make it. It's just a couple weeks. We can do this. Let's push hard. Don't forget about this. We got finals. We got to do all this stuff. So come on, stay with it. You got it. All right.